What's up, y'all? Half Naked Man here. And Deputy Nini also does a bit of advanced uncovery with me. Okay, so I'm sharing this live. So seriously, I was driving down the hill on the way to men's group the other night, and we're supposed to be sharing somatics. And I had this sense that, like, whenever we share somatics, it's usually sort of negative. And I've had this theory that the ego is just sort of an elaborate pain body. So I decided to just try to lean into a part of the positive part of self-experience, which is not something we've dabbled in with uncovery, right? We've just tried to be sort of like open and authentic to whatever's going on. So I leaned into positivity, and the first thing I noticed was it felt actually pretty difficult to find positive emotions. And even when I would find the positive emotion, I would then go into like the negative linings. So I opened it up to actually allowing judgment words, like, this view doesn't feel, it's majestic. I'm judging it as majestic. But from opening up to positive judgment words, I then started to unlock a whole bunch of positive experience. But I needed to like give myself that leeway of positive judgment words first. And
like
then
a frame.
Just a door for me, right? It was the unfolding of emotions that occurs that we get to do in uncovery, where I feel pretty accessed and even articulate. It feels largely like, oh, I feel uncomfortable and insecure and sad and scared, and it's all this negative content. Whereas in positive emotion, I couldn't get under the surface. It was like, oh, I feel excited. Then I've got stories I make up and other things, but I don't have like this bouquet of positive emotions all bubbling into it. Whereas the negative stuff seems to be these massive pain body adventures with all sorts of negative emotions playing into it. But by opening up positive judgment words, still honest, like, oh, that's pretty. Then I started to feel more of the positive emotions, and by leaning into just the positive emotions, by the time I got down that mountain, I felt on fire. I felt open, I felt yang, and I feel like I could have leaned into access to peace and ease and contentment. I leaned into sort of a go-getter fire and positivity, and it felt like a potential whole new branch of, probably just a branch of somatic relating, but coming out of what I've been calling uncovery, is trying to unfold. So the key points were leaning into positive, allowing judgments as opposed to strict emotions. And this thing rolled off and feels powerful. And as much as I love emotional awareness and interpersonal intimacy, there actually may be a bigger, more lucrative market. CEOs and entrepreneurs that want to be able to get into that go-getter attitude on a daily basis.
I definitely think that like pleasure feelings, sensations, that's not something like culturally that's encouraged.
Right.
Or like, feel as good as you can. It's always like, what's wrong?
Right. Totally. Or I'm fine.
Let's look for the wrongness. I'm good. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, no, I'm good. How about you? Yeah, so I'm excited to play with that with you. And yeah, it's interesting if you bring up on the pleasure side of things as well. There's obviously some opportunities in this community to lean into that.
Like smooth. Like if I think of well, one thing I have to say is with our somatics, I find a lot of value in relating to my sensations that I would normally relate to as pain in my body, but relating to them as neutrally as possible. Like it does help me just to like so for a long time now I've had this terrible like elbow thing going on, and most days it just aches and drives me crazy. But when we're in the practice of uncovery, if I'm just talking about the electricity of it or the zing or the zapping, I'm trying to find other words that aren't quite so
negative loaded.
Yeah, exactly. and that actually that helps me feel more freedom in those places that have felt like chronically frustrating or depressing or
Yeah, that radical nirvana experience I had a couple of weeks ago was actually right here, with this fine lady and another friend. If you didn't see that video, go ahead and look for it. Probably says nirvana, uncovery, something. But yeah, that was radical for me. Whereas sadness, I brought sadness and anger. Somatically, I found heartache and gut flipping. And we did a lot of layman's check-ins that time for a while, but it was only in that last hour when we got back into what I felt was honest depth uncovery. And there's another element I'll mention there, that I started to feel a growing awareness of. I don't know if it was growing awareness or an actual growth of that heartache and that gut sickness. But as it started to grow inside my chest, I started to feel hugged from the inside out. And as the somatic attention increased, the mental stories that I was suffering decreased. And I found myself in this state of feeling hugged from the inside out by what I remembered as painful without any suffering because the stories were gone. It's like, this feels like I'm reading a page out of a Nirvana book where the feelings of life are actually blissful and I'm having no suffering, even though I remember this being pain 5 minutes ago. And that was when I canceled our sleepover plans and I was like, I need to go try to integrate this, and took myself home. Yeah.
and how was that integration process?
It was interesting. I did this. I checked in on camera, which is a helpful way. I checked into the Conscious Men's group thread and talked about it a bit. So I tried to speak about it. The night felt really good. And I don't know how much it was connected, but actually, honestly, the next day I felt a little bit rattled, a little bit ungrounded, a little bit rattled. So it didn't stick overnight. Yeah. Fascinating experience. Check out this garden. Hi.
Do you want some eggs?
Yeah, thank you. We got dogs. We got cats. Have y'all met Kiki? Have I introduced you to Kiki yet? My trading partner? Oh my gosh, she's adorable. Sheds a lot, but she's sweet. So we're running off soon to the naked beach dance. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Got a bunch of new friends coming. Should be fun. DJ Auau playing some dirty crunk stuff out at the public beach. It's a hot one out here, and it's a weekend, so it might be busy, which can get a little awkward. Sometimes there's a little bit of pushback from some of the people that don't want our crunk dance party. Opportunities for uncovery and also just laying down the line. I mean, one of the things in this community is I don't come from around here. I come from a place where sometimes we talk a little more aggressive. I'm okay stepping into that role. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. This is so cool. I love this umbrella over your table. It's so rad.
Isn't it great?
So cool. Also, check this out. This is the spot with the outdoor bath. Oh, so good. Nee, what kind of tree is this? Above the bath. Apricot tree. Oh, I love this thing. All right, y'all. If you got any questions about the new spin on positive uncovery, go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're enjoying any of this, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. You like the garden? You like Captain Deputy Nini Merminx Maiden over here? Do you like that outdoor bath? Let me know. We can bring any of the videos that you want. Oh, I'm enjoying this little journey with y'all. And I'm gonna keep checking in with you. Stay tuned. Next we'll probably have a little naked beach dance video. Be seeing y'all soon. It's good. It's gonna keep getting better. Take care.